The chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com. The Art Lewis Show is presented by Westside Decorating Center.
Good morning and welcome to the Art Lewis Show. This is Matt Felan with the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance, filling in for Art as he's taken the last week of August off for vacation. Hope he's having a great time, and wherever he is, I hope he's staying dry and finding the appropriate air conditioning. I think he took a great week to take a little bit of time off. I'm going to be with you today, Thursday, and Friday. A lot of great guests ahead. And as always, when I'm here, we love to chat about amazing things going on in the Great Lakes Bay region. And as I'm sure all of you have seen that are on social media, I know not everyone is, but for those of us that are on social media, for the last 2 weeks, my Facebook feed has been filled to the brim with one of two things. Either back to school photos. You got to take the obligatory first day of school photo. So my feed has been full of friends and family with their kids. And then I this year happen to have a senior. It's shocking, I know, because I look like, I'm in my late 20s and should not have kids that old, but I do. And because of that, everyone posts the senior Sunday. A lot of pressure to come up with unique posts, but it's back to school time. And I think that's really where a lot of our heads are at today. And I'm thrilled to be joined this morning by two of our great leaders here in the Great Lakes Bay region, Mike Vieau with the Bay ISD and Jeff Collier with the Saginaw ISD. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Matt.
Hey, good morning. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to start, really big picture, because I will even tell you years ago, I got confused, and I think a lot of people still may be confused. They hear ISD and they hear Bay Aranac, they hear Saginaw. It's easy to confuse what that means. And oftentimes, that the ISDs are in your school, they're in your district, and you're like, hey, what exactly is this? How does this work? So I'm going to start really big picture. Exactly what is an ISD? And in both of your cases, what does it mean for your geographies?
Well, I can jump in on this one to start out. Saginaw ISD, or Saginaw Intermediate School District, is one of 56 ISDs in the state of Michigan. We have 83 counties in the great state of Michigan, but 56 ISDs. So Saginaw ISD is a county ISD amongst itself. Mr. Vieau represents and leads Bay Aranac, which is hyphenated for both counties of Bay and Aranac. So together, the two of us represent three counties and roughly just under 5% of all the ISDs in the state of Michigan. So this is a topic that comes up quite a bit, and I'm sure my mom and dad are listening. Shout out to Terry and Linda Collier in Essexville. But we talk a little bit in our office or in our shop sometimes about, do our mom and dad know what we do as ISD leaders? Do our staffs know? Do our communities know? Because we're fairly ubiquitous. You'll see signs with Saginaw ISD in particular all around our county, because we're very infusive into leading forward and providing support for our community. ISDs were created to be able to provide or do the work that local school districts might not otherwise be able to do. So if you think of an ISD, think of us as economy of scale service providers. In fact, we say that we do two things. Every morning when we put our pants on and come to work, we exist to provide servant leadership with the gold standard of customer service, and we exist to provide economies of scale educational expertise. And that's what we do. We take great pride in that. And I'm looking forward to this dialogue going on today to be able to talk about how we break that down a little bit more, to be able to provide that gold standard of customer service for our communities, our county, and really our region.
Right. Well, I'm glad you asked that question. At Bay Aranac, we recently we embarked on a strategic plan. So our community wanted to know, what does an ISD do? So we came up with some mission and vision, some things, but we really want to make sure that we collaborate, facilitate with our locals to make those programs even stronger. Jeff mentions economies of scale. We do a lot of things with programming, a lot of things with, let's say, software purchases, things that districts couldn't do, they couldn't afford. So we're that model that helps locals really become more stronger with their programs.
So I want to talk about something that is just very visible, because there's so much we can talk about when it comes to ISDs. But let's talk about something that's incredibly visible and that I know you both are incredibly proud of. you guys literally are home to what I consider to be world-class, best in the country career centers. Back in the day, they had a different name, and it's funny when you talk to parents, there are some, especially I'm a Bay City guy, right? So this skill center's kind of been known forever. Jeff, you're a Bay County native. So folks that are a little bit older still kind of refer to it as the skill center, but you have career and technical centers. And I'm just going to say this, and I've said it many times before. Whenever I'm in one of those facilities and I walk through, I'm astonished and I think, wait a minute, isn't this what education should look like everywhere? It is not. I used to joke, I'm a product of the early 90s, right? I say, oh, the skill center was the kid with the Metallica shirt that kind of wasn't meant for college prep. That's where he ended up. That is not the case today, and your career and technical centers are extraordinary. Can you talk about those, your service area? Mike, I know that you guys service schools beyond Bay Area. Talk about what those look like.
Well, we're fortunate to have a great career center. We have 23 programs, world-class, like you mentioned, just a wide variety. And again, that term career center is replaced the skill center. When I went to Pinconning back in the 80s, that's what it was referred to as a skill center. But we have such a big footprint throughout Bay and Aranac counties and Saginaw County, some of the schools that come in for tuition. But what we try to do is we really build these relationships with advisory boards throughout our industry. So we want to make sure that we're doing the best for our students and our staff, so they're in tune with what the best practices within the Great Lakes Bay region. So we really couldn't do what we do without our advisory panels, which include businesses throughout the Great Lakes Bay region. So they really drive that, so we stay current. And we also work closely with our higher ed. We have a lot of early middle college opportunities, direct credit opportunities. Been a really big, really good relationship with Davenport and Delta College recently. Some creative ideas with some college credits earned actually right out at the Career Center. So it's kind of we try to pull in a lot of entities to make sure that we're preparing our students for the workforce and for higher education.
Well, Mike just teed this up in a great way to talk about our mission is to create as many positive opportunities and outcomes for kids as possible in pathways. And we begin to think about career technical education pathways, collegiate pathways, school to work pathways, whatever may work for increasing the opportunities and outcomes as positively as possible for kids. But when we begin to think a little bit back to your first question about what do ISDs do, this is where we can get some consternation or maybe some confusion, because how Bay Aranac provides career technical oversight is different than how Saginaw ISD does. And I want to honor, first and foremost, our great partner in Saginaw Public School District, who in Saginaw County owns, operates, facilitates, and manages the Saginaw Career Complex, and also hires, fires, and evaluates all staff. So at Saginaw ISD, I joke around with our great business partners, our chamber, our local 85. I'm always saying, hey, I'll arm wrestle you to see who's the biggest champion and supporter of CTE. But we do not personally, I do not oversee or Saginaw ISD lead that. So what we do is we provide the program oversight and quality assurance. That's a monster piece to make sure that we have that quality assurance for all programs throughout Saginaw County. And we also are the fiscal oversight for the CTE millage. In 2018, great visionary leaders came together in Saginaw County and passed the first ever CTE millage, or career technical education millage, in the history of Saginaw County. And we're beginning to see the fruits of those orchards that they had planted as we're seeing these amazing opportunities and career pathways open up for kids. But we exist as chief support, a foundational bedrock to be the fiscal oversight for the county and the quality assurance of programs moving forward, where Mike, you and Bay Aranac own, operate, and facilitate, hire, fire, and evaluate all the staff. We support and facilitate that process with Saginaw Public School District in Saginaw.
And you can see where the gray line becomes for the community, right? Because everyone does something different.
Yeah.
And even in our region, not everyone's termed an ISD. I think we have an ESA, we have RESDs, right? Yeah. So when people hear the different lingo, the different models in which you operate, that you may not own it, but you're at the table and you're definitely a part of
right.
it. It is tough to understand that.
I'm a big, we moved in. I don't think that the right word is an immigrant to Saginaw County, but my family and I moved in July of 2020, right in the heart of COVID. And I adore the connotation of Saginaw awesome. Well, Saginaw is really a fantastic, nationally known city. But you have 3 school districts that begin with Saginaw. You have Saginaw Public School District, which is a local school district. You have Saginaw Township Community Schools. Those are the number 1 and number 2 largest school districts in Saginaw County. And then you have Saginaw Intermediate School District, and we act as the economy of scale support. We work in the background to be able to be that bedrock foundation. So it does get confusing for people about what is it that you do? How do you do? Who owns that? Where do our kids go? We can talk about the newest high school in the state of Michigan coming opening right after Labor Day at Saginaw Public, and people may think that that's I'm operating that high school or Saginaw Township is. So we just work through constant communication and being very transparent because it is all amazingly good. It's Saginaw awesome.
Well, we have a ton to unpack here, and when we come back, I want to talk about how you guys work so carefully with some of the most vulnerable students in our counties.
There are a lot of things out there going viral. Dance challenges, health hacks, pet videos. But you can help keep your immune system from going viral and help protect it from the COVID-19 virus by getting the vaccine. The world has enough going viral these days. Talk to your healthcare provider about getting the COVID-19 vaccine. Sponsored by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services and the Michigan Association of Broadcasters.
We're going abroad for the first time in years, to Spain.
But we don't speak Spanish.
So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks. Babbel's conversational method teaches you real-life words and phrases. And with Babbel's interactive bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish.
Estoy muy emocionado para ir a España contigo.
Aw, he just said, I'm very excited to go to Spain with you. Nos vamos a divertir mucho.
And that means we're going to have a lot of fun.
Sí. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
You hear more and more about identity theft in the news every day. That's because so much of your personal info is out of your control, like your insurance provider that has your social security number and your favorite retailer that has your payment details. If they get breached, your information's vulnerable. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code PLAY at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
The pound sterling rose to its highest level against the dollar since March of 2022, as investors prepare for the Fed to start lowering rates more quickly than the UK's central bank. Crude oil slipping below $77 a barrel after surging on Libya's production halt. Kava Group shares are under pressure after the fast casual Mediterranean restaurant operator's chief executive and other company insiders announced stock sales, and an analyst is interpreting an uptick in sausage demand as a sign that consumers are tightening their belts. According to the Dallas Federal Reserve's Texas Manufacturing Outlook survey, there's been modest growth in the dinner sausage category for one producer. This underscores shoppers' trends of opting for cheaper products as inflation bites into their purchasing power. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Lillian Wu, invested in you.
Hey, Donald Trump Jr. here. Central banks are buying gold at record amounts, and the trend is accelerating in 2024. They see the writing on the wall. The dollar is failing. Is gold the answer for you too? To find out, get a free info kit from Birch Gold Group by texting the word SHELTER to 989898. That's SHELTER to the number 989898 to get your free info kit from Birch Gold, the only gold company I trust right now.
Message and data rates may apply. There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppables, you just toss, wash, wow, for all-day freshness.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career and they talked to me about it.
He was done in just months.
I did do it online.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at My Computer Career.
It worked for me and I know it can work for you.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
WSGW is your station for Sean Hannity. Politics, the economy, the culture of America. Conservative commentary and opinion. Weekday afternoons 3 to 6 on WSGW and online WSGW.com.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. The Art Lewis Show is sponsored by Westside Decorating Center. Visit them at 5789 State Street in Saginaw or online at westsidedecoratingcenter.com. And I'll tell you, I was there last Friday. We were on the wallpaper hunt. Phenomenal showroom, great customer service. The folks were awesome to work with. Thank you for all you do in sponsoring the Art Lewis Show. So this is Matt Felan with the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance, filling in for Art here this last week of August. And we are talking about kind of this back to school time here with Mike Vieau and Jeff Collier from the Bay and Saginaw ISDs. Before the break, I kind of alluded to the fact that the student populations in the three counties you represent are really all across the state. We have vulnerable populations that may need special assistance. It could be anything from special ed, speech therapy, etc. And as you guys talked about in our first segment, you guys kind of help with the economy of scale, right? It would be pretty difficult for every district to hire X, Y, and Z for every special circumstance. Can you talk about how the ISDs really work with our vulnerable populations?
Yeah, I'd love to. Just want to make sure people understand that we talked a little bit about the Career Center to start, and it's kind of the face of the ISD, but really special ed is our biggest program, our biggest department by far. We offer services throughout Bay and Aranac counties, and what we try to do is it really starts at birth. So it's 0 to 26. We have programs that impact our youth, are very young, and are all the way up to 26. So we provide speech, PT, OT, have some really fantastic programs. Our staff is really good at making sure that nobody gets left behind, and there's always a good, appropriate program. So it's really, we have a millage in Bay and Aranac counties that provide special ed services. So we provide itinerants throughout our district. So we will provide services through the millage so that we can staff those positions that we just talked about. Not sure if that's how Saginaw looks like, but in Bay and Aranac counties, that's how our model is based on a millage. And then we also have state and federal funds that we use to provide those services. But again, 0 to 26, anywhere from speech to actually any type of service in between.
Yeah, I think it's important when we talk about a segment like this that we work to strip some of the emotion away, because we're going to be talking about some of our most vulnerable babies, students. I always, it's colloquial for me to say 0 to 26, birth to 26 in the state of Michigan has special education service provisions. And it's important that we take away some of that emotion, because really what we're going to be talking about is we're going to be talking about the cost of those services. And when we talk about economy of scales, we can get into dollar amounts for students or what services may be rendered. And that's difficult because we can lose the beauty of the student in that. So I'm hoping that our audience will understand that today when we talk about a student that may move into a school district. In Saginaw County, we have 12 public school districts and 5 public school academies or charter schools. If a student were to move in with school of choice into a specific district that may be vision impaired, for example, the requirements to provide free and appropriate education through the Individuals Disabilities Education Act, both federal and state law, those resources for curricular books can be in the tens of thousands of dollars. And when we begin to think about students that have low incident concerns or really high needs, we have multiple students. We have 2 primary campuses that we support in Saginaw County, the Millet Learning Center in Bridgeport and the Transition Center in Saginaw Township, that are full campus special education campuses here for our 26,000 students throughout Saginaw County. We have multiple students, our listeners may not recognize, that are brought to school every day by ambulance. And those costs, to be able to provide, rightly so, our children the opportunity for free and appropriate education, come at really extreme costs that could otherwise inhibit some of the opportunities for our local school districts to provide the overall services back to their entire local education agency or their entire community. So by walking through this from a very equitable and equal lens through individual education plans for our students, we're able to help provide these services. What's really fantastic is that in Saginaw County, I mentioned in the last section, in 2018, Saginaw County voters came together as a community. I was talking about being Saginaw awesome. This is amazing. I can get emotional on this. I wasn't even here for this part of it. I came in July of 2020, but visionary leaders came together in our county to pass the first ever CTE millage. In 2022, they banded together again and overwhelmingly supported the first special education millage enhancement in 48 years. So you have in 4 years 2 historic millages that have provided an overwhelming swell of resources that talk about how our community cares about kids and then provides those resources back to our locals to be able to infuse services back.
Yeah, I will tell you, when you're fortunate and you have kids that are healthy and are in a general population, you take a lot of things for granted. And I can tell you in the last year, I've been impacted. We have someone that lives in our neighborhood. They have a daughter, beautiful young girl, but nonverbal, really has some significant challenges, but she loves school. She has to have a place where she can thrive, where she can learn, where she can experience just like any other student. That's her right. That's our responsibility. And there has to be just not a place, but incredibly sophisticated teachers in place, training, medical attention. I mean, impossible for an individual school district to be able to handle in a case-by-case instance. The ISD is that safety net that's kind of around everyone that allows this young woman in particular, as an example, that place where she's afforded the opportunity to get an education that is built and customized to who she is, where she's at, but it helps her, despite these immense challenges, grow as a student, experience new things, learn to better function on a daily basis. And I think so many of us, we take that for granted because we were born under kind of a lucky moon or whatever it is. Right. We were fortunate enough to have kids that are in great shape, right? But if you're not in that spot, these services are so important. And it's the ISDs that provide this, right?
I'll set this up for you, Mike, but not only do we provide equitable, this is across the state, we're all servant leaders that stand as guardians for all children, regardless of zip code. So as we talk about Saginaw or Bay and Aranac counties today, this is about all means all. But as we set up these equitable programs, not only do we have free and appropriate education, but we also have what's called least restrictive environment to best ensure that we have thriving environments for our children to be able to come into school. And when we begin thinking about school districts that begin to separate what we do as servant leaders or servant providers or economy of scale providers, people don't often realize the amount of speech therapists, occupational therapists, physical therapists, the nursing staffs that we have, and we work in partnership with our local hospitals. When we begin to think about the threads and the weaving of the braid, if you will, throughout our community, we're entrenched like a great root system. And I always say that we're planting seeds for a better tomorrow, and we're leading forward for everybody. But a lot of people may not think about a traditional school. If you think about a traditional school district, The intermediate school districts provide all of that backdrop to ensure equity for all.
Equity and inclusion as well. And what we look at now is the least, Jeff mentioned least restrictive environment. It's a big push from the state right now, and it's a good thing to put students back in their home buildings, back where their zip code is from, so that they're with their peers. And at Bay Aranac, we've made a great strides in that, and taking students from a center-based program and getting them into buildings that they have access to general education, because they are general education students first and foremost. So we want to make sure that we get those opportunities for the students in a least restrictive environment. And I can tell you, we just looked at some numbers. We have made strides in that area to include more students in their local districts, and it's really had a positive impact. And as a superintendent in Pinconning over the years, several years back, we had classrooms that we brought students in that were special needs, and the classrooms that were ISD based. And to get those students melded into the atmosphere and the culture of a building, they would never experience that in a center-based program. So I can see the benefits firsthand of getting students in buildings where they have access to general education.
What's really cool about this, Matt, and our audience would never know this, but you may not know this, maybe you do, is that I've had the benefit and the pleasure and maybe the fortune of having worked as an instructional leader in Bay, Aranac, and Saginaw County. So I'm kind of fact checking Mike right now, making sure he's spitting truth, but it's been fantastic.
Just as a reminder to you, and I don't know if you remember this, I do believe I took a boat with you.
Yes,
in Augrey to an island
Charity
on a
Island.
STEM expedition. So I'm
Charity
very
Island.
well aware of your job. So, hey, we're going to take another break. When we come back, let's talk about how your work is really connecting to our growing workforce.
Welcome to retirement. Now, replace your paycheck. To local financial coach Kevin Ray, this is what retirement planning is all about.
Building monthly paychecks, and how you build those monthly paychecks is going to determine how well in retirement you're going to enjoy it. So sit down and build a good framework, and it starts with income.
So build your framework with Kevin and the team at Insight Folios today by calling 888-885-PLAN. That's 888-885-7526.
Let me take a moment to talk about my friends at Quick Lane Freeland next to my car dealer, McDonald Ford. This is where you can get all of your routine maintenance done. Oil changes, brakes, tires, batteries, and they work on all makes and models of cars, not just Fords. Chevys, Toyotas, Hondas, Jeeps, Dodge, you name it. They keep them all in tip-top shape. And here is a tip from Quick Lane Freeland.
Do you suffer from allergies? Did you know FrigiFresh kills germs in your vehicle's air conditioning system? FrigiFresh is a hospital-grade disinfectant that controls pollen, molds, and mildew inside your car. It's only $20 and takes less than 10 minutes for the treatment. You can get FrigiFresh at Quick Lane next to McDonald Ford in Freeland. Just stop in. No appointment needed.
Quick Lane Freeland, right next to McDonald Ford, working on all makes and models of cars.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text SERVE to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text SERVE to 42424. That's SERVE to 42424.
When it comes to my lifestyle and diet, I don't always make the smartest choices. Touchdown! Woo! Hey, how about another round and some more chips? But when it comes to taking care of my liver, I do make one very smart choice. Active liver tablets from New Nordic. I used to have real issues with my liver, and at my last checkup, my doc was concerned about my numbers. But since adding a once-a-day active liver tablet, my gut's better, I feel great, and my doctor's happy. I ask a lot of my liver, so the least I can do to say thanks is a daily dose of Active Liver.
You ask a lot of your liver, so give it the support it needs with Active Liver. You can find Active Liver at Amazon.com or ask for Active Liver at your local CVS. Or for a volume discount, visit NewNordicUSA.com. Go to new, NORDICUSA.com, Amazon, or ask for Active Liver at your local CVS.
Hi, I'm Cesar Milan. People are always commenting on how healthy my dogs are. One of the reasons is the food my dogs eat.
Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend is a premium freeze-dried raw dog food designed to support your dog's health, happiness, and lifespan. Save up to 54% off Nature's Blend and get a free bag of cod Crispies. Go to drmartypets.com/good or text GOOD to 511-511.
Your order is back with a 90-day guarantee.
All dogs are unique. Your dog results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply.
Broadcasting online, courtesy Stormmaster Exteriors. And from the Stormmaster Exteriors studios, this is WSGW.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. Matt Felan with the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance filling in for Art. And gentlemen, I don't know about you, but I got 2 alarm clocks this morning. I had my regular iPhone telling me that it was time to go, but the thunder decided to catch me a little bit earlier.
I was knocked out of power this morning.
Were you really? Yeah.
It takes a lot to put this together. And
right. Not here.
Yeah, Mike and I know. I mean, Mike will spend a lot of time on his hair this morning. It takes an extra 15 minutes.
I don't have to look at myself.
This humidity is just killing me.
It actually.
Bring out your natural curls, Mike.
I don't know what it is, gentlemen. You know, I love high school football, and my son's a senior, and he plays this week. For whatever reason, though, this week, that first week, we always seem to deal with thunderstorms and heat and how it impacts games. And is the heat advisory going to be there? And what's going on with the weather? And there's a lightning delay. It just, without a doubt, folks, if you hear it's the first week of high school football, be prepared. Weather's coming through. That definitely did it today. We were just kind of chatting in the commercial just about heat and storms and how it impacts schools and the kids. And, you know, thankfully in this area, I think the storms that came through this morning took some of the heat problems out of the way. I don't think it's going to get too hot till later this afternoon. So thankfully, I know a lot of schools on the west side of the state actually closed today. And, geez, I never even would have thought about that. And glad that we didn't have to deal with that.
It's a new dawn for a lot of things that I had never thought we'd be talking about in education. It's definitely a new day. It's exciting. We have to be flexible, and we exist solely to serve kids and educators in our community. So never saw some of these things coming on that we have in the last decade or so. It's exciting and challenging at the same time.
So, gentlemen, I want to take you down a little bit of a different road right now, okay? So when we look at the Great Lakes Bay region and our counties, Bay, Saginaw, Midland, Isabella, historically, we've had an aging population in the last 20, 30 years. Populations declined. But we're at this really unique time where we're seeing some things. We're seeing some of our communities start to grow again. We're starting to see an influx of innovative jobs. We're starting to see the future of current jobs change. So examples, $1 billion going into Midland to Dow for their R&D facilities, to take these R&D facilities from 50s labs to 2020 labs. You're going to see 1,100 new jobs at Corning over across from HSC. You see in Bay County, a company like SK Siltron, which is at a couple hundred employees. They plan on getting north of 500 by 25, 26. The medical diamond in Saginaw, really a healthcare industry that I think is on the verge of exploding. So here's my question. What is your role in making sure that this region has the talent needed for these jobs, for the jobs that we're talking about that are going to be here, that our kids are going to go to? And again, these aren't just like jobs.
Right.
These are cutting edge STEM-based jobs that are the future of the country, but they're based right here. What's your role in educating our students?
You want to lead off?
Yeah, I'll lead off. I think it really starts, Matt, with educating our students and starting to get that career exploration at an early age and getting them to know what we have in this community, and then educating the parents. We have some what we call career navigators that are doing some really good work within Bay and Aranac counties, and some of that just foundational piece of getting at an early level the know what the opportunities are, having students and parents know a direction, maybe not a direct pathway, but at least some areas of interest. And we've tried to build out a network in a program called Zello, which we work with employers with, so we can kind of match people up with students with employers. But on a big picture as well, it's getting as they get older, getting our programs specifically at the Career Center to match those skills, working with those companies you mentioned, working with the higher ed institutions, so we can have programs that articulate with the demand in those skill areas that are looking to be the growth areas. And we are fortunate to be in the Great Lakes Bay region right now with all this exciting growth.
It's been a really unique learning curve for me. I always say that our learning curves are straight up and backwards, and it doesn't matter how long you're in these jobs, everything's going to change. But it's really a unique opportunity for us to be able to not only be servant leaders for our community, but also be community ambassadors. I have the pleasure of serving on the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance board with you, Matt, and it's fantastic to be able to think beyond the scope of the geographical boundaries or maybe the zip codes that comprise what our intermediate school districts would be, to think regional, to think Midwest. For a long time, urban centers in Detroit in particular have been talked about their renaissance, their rejuvenation, based on how many billionaires live within the vicinity you're deciding to invest in. We're talking about billions of dollars. And when we think about Hemlock Semiconductor, the Corning investment, or the Medical Health Diamond Park in Saginaw, Mike, I'll speak just a little bit about Saginaw County because that's what I know best right now. We're talking about rejuvenation that, to me, is crazy. I had the privilege of being able to choose where my family was going to move in with my wife Yolanda and I, and to be able to select Saginaw County at this time right now, it's a renaissance. It sure feels like a renaissance. So although I'm not the primary instructional leader like I was when I was a local superintendent, we have the opportunity to expose and discuss and communicate and champion and be ambassadors, not only to our local school districts, to be able to best assure that those quality programs or professional developments are there, that the opportunities are very transparently available and ready for us to be able to support our Saginaw Career Complex, to work within the means of our universities and colleges in this area, the fantastic higher education institutions that we have, to work within the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance, to work on the Saginaw County Health Department board, to be able to be this Swiss Army knife and not be intrusive, but be ready for the call when the invitation comes, has been really a dynamic aspect of this role, and one that I do not take lightly, to be able to continue to champion all the entire Great Lakes Bay region, Saginaw County, Saginaw, everything that we do here in mid-Michigan. It's really pure Michigan. It's just been fantastic.
Jeff, you just did something that's going to stick with me forever. I will never not be able to think of an ISD as anything other than a Swiss Army knife now. That may be the greatest example I ever heard of exactly what you guys are. So we're going to take one last break here this hour, and we'll be back with our local ISDs.
It's Yacht Ride to float your boat. Saturday, October 5th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort, the Little River Band. Special guest, the Atlanta Rhythm Section. Tickets as low as $35 and are on sale now at the Soaring Eagle box office and etix.com. Smooth sailing, October 5th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort, the Little River Band and Atlanta Rhythm Section, SoaringEagleCasino.com.
Did you know your life insurance is an asset you can sell? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. For almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. And at abacuspays.com, we've created a free policy value calculator so you can find out the worth of your policy in just seconds. There are no fees and no obligations. Get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Learn more at abacuspays.com.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
Warning. The following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
WSGW and our sister station 94.5 The Moose have teamed up with Valley Heating and Cooling to honor hometown heroes. We're asking you to submit photos and recognitions of active military, veterans, or first responders. As a special thanks to our hometown heroes, 3 gifts will be given away in random drawings from Valley Heating and Cooling. The gifts include a $100 Visa gift card, a free maintenance and service checkup, and a $5,000 voucher to Valley Heating and Cooling. You can see the gallery of hometown heroes and submit your heroes online at WSGW.com.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. Matt Felan with the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance, here with Mike Vieau from the Bay Area ISD and Jeff Collier with the Saginaw ISD. So, Jeff, you guys have a big week coming up. You have a ribbon cutting taking place over at Millet. Talk to us about what's going on here this week.
Well, I would love to invite our entire community. Bring everybody to come and take a look at the fantastic, newly renovated in the last 2 years, Millet Learning Center. It's one of our primary campuses for students of special education needs. A beautiful full campus renovation that took place 2 years ago. And on the backside of the Millet Learning Center, we have a brand new, fully inclusive playground that we're going to have a professional ribbon cutting at 1 p.m. this Thursday, August 29th, from 1 o'clock to 2:30. Everybody is welcome. We exist for all. This is your campus, not mine. And we have an opportunity to host you at Millet Learning Center on 3660 Southfield Drive, Saginaw, Michigan, 48601. And after the ribbon cutting, not only are we going to be able to get out and play on the playground, but we're also going to have an ice cream social. So it's a fun opportunity to welcome the community into a campus that they support through the millages and through our tax dollars. Opportunity for us to pay it forward and give back and just really celebrate the amazing things that are taking place.
That's outstanding. And Jeff, for people that are listening that want to know more about the Saginaw ISD, want to know more about all that you're doing, can you talk about where they can find you online and via social media? Because I know you have a great marketing communications team in place that really is creative and is doing a lot of work. You have some pretty amazing talent there. Can you talk about that?
We do. I'm gonna steal on that just for a second. We have an amazing team, and I won't be able to give everybody a shout out, but I do want to give a specific shout out to my Deputy Superintendent Scott Sawyer and my Chief of Staff Cody Kaczynski. They have really helped build up this concept called Our Story, as we continue to talk about the positive narrative that's taking place, not only throughout all of education, but Saginaw ISD internally and the region. So it's a narrative, hashtag Our Story, but you can also find us on any of the major social media outlets at Saginaw ISD and on our webpage at www.saginawisd.
Love it. So, Mike, when we talk about the Career Center, and I speak about it everywhere I go. It has wowed me from welding to business classes to PT, OT, veterinary clinic, the whole bit. But there's one thing that, maybe not everyone knows about, and I don't know if it's open yet or when it's going to be open for the year, but you have a really dynamic culinary program at a little restaurant called Bloomin' Chefs. Talk about that.
Well, absolutely. Blooming Chefs has been award-winning. We have students that have competed at the international level, state level, and we've brought home a lot of awards. Just a fantastic program that produces a lot of culinary chefs throughout the area, but we also have an opportunity for locals to come in and actually eat there. So it's open to the public, and you can find those hours if you check our website, baisd.net. I'm not 100% sure if it's when it's open, but the students have to do some training ahead of time before we actually serve the public. But it becomes open to for the general public. And again, if you visit our website, you could definitely stop in and get some good eats. And you can tell by the looks of my stomach, I make it over there quite a bit.
I've been full of shout outs. My mom and dad, Scott and Cody, but I can also back the fact this is a good fact check because Blooming Chefs is off your face good. What the students and staff do there is second to none. A fantastic place to eat and support Bay and Saginaw ISD.
And you know what I love? You end up seeing a lot of those kids that are trained there, and they go and they take those classes. They end up in your local restaurants. They end up as your chefs and your servers and the folks that are doing it. It's just phenomenal work. Last question here before I let you go. Just because, like I said, we're at that time of year. Really, what is your hope that you guys see? Because we're a few years post-COVID. What's your hope for students today?
Well, my hope is normality. It's to get students back into the groove. We've seen a lot of chronic absenteeism. We're trying to build past that. We're trying to put supports in place that allow for a little more ease of going to school every day. Again, just that routine and a brighter future. Right now, giving our students the skills that they can take into the workforce or into college. That's where I'm looking toward.
My hope is that our communities will be able to understand that the school that worked for them was the best school that worked for them, and that today represents an opportunity for us to lead forward to provide the next generation the opportunities that they need beyond what we had. And I'm hoping that our community opens up to the idea that we can be creative, we can be transparent, and we can be transformative for the kids of today and tomorrow, rather than the nostalgic memories that we have of our schooling.
Well, gentlemen, great to see you today. Appreciate you taking time here in the early going here in August. You guys both have a great school year.
This is great. Thank you very much, Matt.
Thanks for having me.
This is Sonia with Phages Interiors, and I'm here to invite you to check out our recently renovated window treatment gallery. Along with custom draperies and top treatments, we now offer a range of America's most popular brands of blinds and shades like Hunter Douglas. We have an array of smart home compatible, energy efficient designs that are available at everyday low pricing. We can even cover those odd shaped windows with style. For over 24 years, I've helped my clients create custom one of a kind window treatments, and now I'm able to offer complete room design with Phages Interiors. Visit our website to schedule your complimentary consultation and enjoy 50% off professional installation. Or visit our ever-changing showroom at Phages Interiors, 4946 Burl Drive in Saginaw.
Phages Interiors. Stop in and experience for yourself the quality, value, and excellent service that can only come from Phages Interiors.
What's better than one win? 3 wins. With Straight Savings, you keep your own phone, get one line for only $25 a month with real unlimited data, and get rewarded with a $200 phone credit after 12 months. It's a win-win-win. Head to Walmart or visit straighttalk.com today. Switch to Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Straight Savings Plan enrollment requires compatible unlocked device and new line of service. Bonus device credit requires 12 months of active service. Offer ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. Taxes and fees apply. For network management practices, see Straight Talk's terms and conditions.
That wraps up this hour of the Art Lewis Show. Once again, want to thank Mike View and Jeff Collier for joining me. Next hour, I'm going to be joined by my friend Steve Schonberg with Midland Center for the Arts. But first, the news.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. We're getting new details on a hostage rescue in southern Gaza today. Reporter Linda Gradstein is in Jerusalem.
The Hamas members guarding him temporarily stepped away, maybe came up to the surface to get some air because it's really not possible to stay in the tunnels for that long. And Israeli special forces came in and took him out.
Israeli officials say 52-year-old Bedouin Qaid al-Qadi was taken hostage by Hamas gunmen at the kibbutz where he worked during the October 7th attack. His rescue could have broader implications. Correspondent Imtiaz Tayab is in Tel Aviv.
We're already hearing from Israeli leaders that they hope that this rescue could put pressure on Yahya Sinwar, the leader of Hamas in Gaza, to really come to the table with a hostage agreement.
Local TV shows show al-Qadi's family running to the hospital where he was taken. He has 2 wives and 11 children. The largest Latin American civil rights group claims Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton's office okayed illegal searches of volunteers' homes in an investigation into an alleged push to register non-citizens to vote. CBS's Omar Villafranca is in San Antonio.
The organization sent a letter to the Justice Department, first obtained by CBS News, asking it to conduct an investigation into the Attorney General's actions, calling them, quote, a serious violation of the civil rights of Latino citizens.
Record-breaking temperatures expected for a second day across the Midwest. The heat and humidity are especially dangerous for first responders like Peoria Fire Chief Sean Solberger.
With temperatures like we're going to experience this week, you have no relief. You'll go inside that house fire and you'll be in extreme temperatures, but then your body's taxed and you're sweating and you're breathing hard and your core temperature's up. You come outside and there's no relief.
Crews around New York City have been spraying for mosquitoes after half a dozen people were diagnosed with West Nile virus. CBS New York's Christina Fan is in Manhattan.
There have been 6 severe cases of West Nile virus reported across the city so far this year. And to help reduce mosquito activity, the Department of Health was out and about earlier this morning, spraying pesticides in neighborhoods all across Manhattan and also focusing specifically on Central Park.
Popular weight loss injectable Zepbound is about to become more accessible. CBS's Stacey Lynn.
The price for a monthly supply of the drug was over $1,000. Now patients will be able to get it for half that if they go through Lilly's telehealth platform. And they'll also have to pay cash as no insurance will be accepted.
The Dow is down 49 points in early trading, S&P off 6. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Get renter's insurance to protect the things that make your place a home, including coverage for theft or damage. Visit Progressive.com.
Stock up on everyday essentials at Menards and save big money. We're your one-stop shop for pet food and supplies. Blue Buffalo dog and cat food is made with real meat and natural ingredients that your pets will love. Save big on Blue Buffalo pet food at Menards, America's #1 home improvement retailer for customer satisfaction, according to J.D. Power. Visit jdpower.com for details and menards.com for deals.
Save big money at Menards.
Incoming transmission from RocketGrabPlus.com.
Don't miss out. We have a wide variety of deals available this month at RocketGrabPlus.com, like 50% off a $75 gift certificate to the Healing Room Wellness and Med Spa in Saginaw. Good for use in the sauna, float tank, salt rooms, and more. Plus, other deals half off from the Bearded Axe in Caro, a gym day pass to Hometown Hustle in Birch Run, and more. Visit RocketGrabPlus.com today to see all of our amazing offers before they sell out.
Transmission terminated.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Very cloudy skies and 77 degrees at 10:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Percha. State Police and the Midland County Sheriff's Department are investigating the death of an inmate. Sheriff Myron Green says the 56-year-old man had been held in the Midland County Jail on larceny charges for several days and was found unresponsive in his cell around 4:45 Saturday afternoon. According to investigators, the man apparently fashioned an item within his cell to strangle himself. Despite life-saving efforts, the man was pronounced dead. An autopsy has been conducted, and authorities are awaiting results. A group of 7 state police troopers have filed 14 lawsuits against the Michigan State Police, alleging they were retaliated against for reporting misconduct during internal affairs investigations. Last November, First Lieutenant Yvonne Brantley, Lieutenant Michael Phillips, and Lieutenant Thomas Duge of the State Police Flint Post were placed on administrative leave during the investigation and eventually were removed from their command, according to MSP officials. The investigation found there were violations of the Code of Conduct and Civil Service rules and regulations, including violations related to truthfulness and maintaining the integrity of the promotion and selection process. According to the lawsuits, the 7 troopers who spoke out during the investigation were placed on what's known as the Brady-Giglio list as an act of retaliation, which means they have committed some offense that makes them suspect in terms of their liability for truthfulness. The troopers are seeking monetary and emotional damages. The Saginaw County Animal Care and Control Resource Center is dealing with an overpopulation issue. Animal control officers say there is a huge need for adopters, fosters, and rescue pools. Anyone interested in adopting or fostering a pet can visit the shelter at 5615 Bay Road in Cotchville Township, Monday through Friday from 1:30 to 4:30 p.m. After hours, adoptions are available by appointment only. Call 989-797-4500 for more information. WSGW News Time, 10:07.
Hi everyone, Eric here with Crane's L&M Appliance Center. When we say we want to earn your business, we mean it. Get name brand appliances such as GE, LG, and Speed Queen with special financing and rebates available. Need a new mattress, recliner, or couch? Let our staff at our Carroll location help you find the perfect one. See us today in Saginaw at 3260 Bay Road or in Carroll at 1556 West Carroll Road. Remember, here at Crane's L&M, we want to earn your business.
The Motown sound meets Philly soul. Friday, October 11th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. The Temptations and the Spinners. Tickets as low as $62 and are on sale now at the Soaring Eagle box office and etix.com. One stage, one night only. Friday, October 11th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. The Temptations and the Spinners. More at SoaringEagleCasino.com.
WSGW News Time, 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. Second gentleman Doug Emhoff will be in West Michigan later this week. This Thursday in Grand Rapids, Emhoff will be in town for a campaign event for Vice President Kamala Harris. The time of the event and venue has not been publicly announced yet. In Paris, the Paralympics begin tomorrow. Next year, and in 2026, Grand Rapids will host the largest national sporting championship for athletes with disabilities, the Hartford Nationals. The West Michigan Sports Commission, run by Micah Gosweiler, will host.
We have a great partner here locally, Mary Freebed, Wheelchair and Adaptive Sports. They're terrific. They run some great programs. So we're working hand in hand with them, but also our universities. Calvin University has an incredible athletic campus. And currently, they run about 7 sports, but we're looking at potentially additional sports.
Gosweiler says they'll host 400 to 500 athletes. He says the event should generate around $1 million for the West Michigan economy. The Michigan Association of Ambulance Services says their providers are owed millions of dollars. Under law, EMS agencies are required to respond to 911 requests, including calls to Michigan prisons. EMS providers say they provided transportation to the Department of Corrections' former health care provider, but failed to be paid for those services. In total, they're asking the legislature to pay $6 million in back claims. WSGW News Time, 10:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. A heat advisory is in effect here for the forecast area. We'll see a few scattered showers and thunderstorms at times here for today with a blend of clouds and sunshine developing, a high in the low 90s. Winds out of the southwest around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, a chance for some showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy skies and a low around 70. Wednesday, chance for showers and thunderstorms, partial sunshine develops, high of 78 degrees. Thursday, mostly sunny and a high of 82. Friday, a chance for showers and thunderstorms here, cloudy sky conditions, a high of 85 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 73.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com. The Art Lewis Show is presented by Westside Decorating Center.
Good morning and welcome to the Art Lewis Show. Happy Tuesday, everyone. It's Matt Felan over at the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance, and I'm filling in for Art this week, who's on vacation. I have no clue where he is, but I hope it's 1, dry, and 2, air-conditioned. And I'll tell you, Art does a pretty good job of picking good weeks to take vacation, and I think he absolutely did it this week, kind of given this steamy, late August weather, which... You know, folks, I don't know who you are. I know we all kind of like something a little bit different, but just so everyone's aware, I'm that guy who likes fall. Autumn leaves, a little bit of a breeze, jeans and a sweatshirt, pumpkin-flavored something that I know drives everyone nuts. Why is everything pumpkin this, pumpkin that? Yeah, I'm that guy. I'm the guy who's like, ooh, pumpkin Cheerios. Got to give those a try. I just love fall, so I will be looking forward to kind of this heat wave getting through. I think, like many of you here this morning, I had my dual alarm clock. I was hoping to get up at about 6:30. Nope. Mother Nature said otherwise. She woke me up a tiny bit earlier with some thunderstorms, but those look to be through. And in hearing from our folks with the weather, the chances for additional storms later exist, but they think they're greatly reduced now. That big line of storms here this morning may have taken all the energy out of the atmosphere, and it may be capped, and storms may be hard to form again. So we will just see, but definitely keep checking the weather later today to make sure that that's the case. Still that threat that cap breaks, but I think from hearing from our friends at WNEM and Matthew Mondro and others, it sounds like there could be a cap, and the weather is behind us here for the day. So with that, whenever I host a show, I know that I love to chat all things Great Lakes Bay region, and we really try to mix up the content. So you hear a little bit from our employers in manufacturing and higher education and K-12 education, STEM learning, mental health. You get a feel for everything. But today is one of my favorites because we are going to jump into the arts. And I am joined here this morning by the Vice President of Marketing and Sales at Midland Center for the Arts, Steve Schonberg. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, Matt. Good to see you. Good to be here.
I love this. How long have you been in the Great Lakes Bay region?
3 months now.
And how many times have you been on the show?
My second time.
I mean, we're going to get you a punch card. We're going to get you rolling through quite often. It's great to have you here. And one of the reasons that I love Midland Center for the Arts, listen, I'm a regional guy. And when you're a regional guy, it's always unique. It's not like we're Vatican City. It's not like the Great Lakes Bay region is this teeny little city in the middle of the four counties. We are Midland. We are Saginaw. We are Bay. We are Isabella, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when I think Midland Center for the Arts, I'm not going to lie. I have a hard time just referring to it as Midland. I kind of view it as something that's located there.
Mm-hmm.
But when I think about the center, I think about a location that is for the entire region and beyond. And quite frankly, Steve, someplace that's a statewide destination.
Mm-hmm.
Can you start off by telling our listeners what exactly is Midland Center for the Arts today? What all does it encompass?
Sure. I think people really think of Midland Center for the Arts for our theatrical productions, right? But really, I joke that we're the fanciest community center in the world, really, because we don't just offer theater. We have so many different lines of business to serve our community. We've got our new museum that's being renovated because it was damaged in the flood in 2020. We're completely reimagining it. So we'll have our science museum back. We have the theaters. We have our education wing where people can come in. It's not just about coming to enjoy what we're providing, but really having the chance to learn for yourself. Things like pottery or art or music, or even our center stage theater. When we do talk about the arts, the community can audition for these shows and be a part of it. So it's really about serving our community outwardly and bringing them in as part of our group and as part of our family.
So I love that you said that. See, before you arrived, once upon a time, the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance, we held the rights to Mamma Mia because we did a regional production of Mamma Mia at the center. And what was unique, it took our partners from Pit and Balcony in Saginaw, from Bay City and the Bay City Players, from our campuses at Delta, SVSU, CMU, and their theater programs, and kind of brought talent all together. But a regional entity had to hold the rights. So of all things, we did. Mm-hmm. And we hosted it there. And when you talk about that, that was a community production. My nephew was actually in the cast. At that point, he was, I'm going to say either just graduated from high school or just starting college, kind of that time frame. He was one of the crazy guys with wearing the flippers. And so I got to see that. And I will tell you that production rivaled any Broadway production I have ever seen of Mamma Mia. It was so exceptional. We had an SVSU director directing the show. But at the same time, my daughter was in Charlotte's Web, and it used to be called Peanut Gallery. I know you guys have changed the name now, but it was your youth theater, and this fun little small stage that rotated like you were there for Hamilton. My daughter played Lamb, and my favorite was, if you know my daughter, there's no other way to say it, guys. She's a redheaded Latina. She is fiery. She is sassy. And so when we went to watch the show, she played Lamb as the sassy little character, and we couldn't help but ask, Alex, was this the way the character is supposed to be? Is Lamb supposed to be sassy, or is this your interpretation of what Lamb is supposed to be? We were very thankful to know that, yes, Lamb was supposed to be sarcastic and sassy. But I'll tell you, I love what you said because my family's experienced it firsthand. You truly have a community theater wing that just isn't community theater. The productions are top notch.
Yeah. I'll have to say, I mean, coming from New York just a few months ago, I've seen many community theaters around the country, right? And my first experience was seeing Newsies, which was our Rising Stars production, which was on our outdoor stage for the summer, and then Rock of Ages, and it rivals any off-Broadway production company in New York, just as good, because we bring in professionals from Broadway and elsewhere to really teach the community and to train the community to make these amazing productions. The Rock of Ages was a blast, really fun, and everybody seemed to love it.
You know, one of the things that I love is that our region has been home to some incredibly talented Broadway performers. And I don't know if it's because I'm from Bay City and involved there in so much, but whether it's a Corey Blassie who played Genie in Aladdin, you have a Ryan Vanderboom who's currently, another Munger native who's on stage right now at MJ, Katie Travis, who had been in the traveling productions of, I'm blanking, Phantom of the Opera, like, phenomenal talent from our region, but they come back and they immerse themselves and they help, and it's remarkable what our region has to offer. And then I don't know, we have the Trina Winans of the world who are just spectacular community theater actors who, in my opinion, if they had chosen to go to New York, Emily Anderson, I know you're out there, you're listening, many of you, if you would have gone to other places, there's no doubt in my mind that you would have made it as well. They give us a professional feel here. Yeah. It's phenomenal.
And I'll tell you, there's another name coming up real quick from our area, which is Gretchen Schoep, who's from Midland. She graduated Midland High School just this year, and she was the recipient of the very coveted 2024 Jimmy Award, which celebrates the best musicians from around the country, best vocalists from around the country. She won that award and sort of got national attention from it. And I'll tell you, her voice is fantastic. I encourage everybody to Google her name, Gretchen Shope. She gives me chills when she sings. She's going to be a massive star. And it just so happened to work out that we have our Holiday Pops concert this year. And it's going to be co-starring Kevin Massey from shows like Tarzan and Big River, and Gretchen Shope. I mean, what a wonderful story to have somebody local who, honed her chops at the Midland Center doing shows, and through Creative 360 at Bay City Players, really a part of our community. So much so that she got this amazing award, and we're very thankful because she was actually on staff as a teacher in our education wing for music this past summer. So what a hero story that now in December, she's going to be co-headlining the Midland Symphony Orchestra's Holiday Pops concert with a Broadway star, Kevin Massey. And I'll tell you, for people in the region, get your tickets now, or it's going to be, I believe Gretchen is one of those people, they're going to go look back in a few years and say, I remember seeing her when. And it's wonderful that she's one of our locals.
That is really cool. The rest of the show, we're really kind of going to dive into what the season ahead looks like at Midland Center for the Arts. But before we do that, you are new to the region. You've been here, as you said, 3 months. You're coming here from New York. How's it been? It's been culture shock. You've been here 3 months. Are you comfortable? Are we welcoming? Do we need to pack your suitcases again? Give us your initial impression. What do you think about being here in the Great Lakes Bay region?
I say this with all honesty. It's like being in Oz. Every time, especially in downtown Midland, you turn the corner and there's always something surprising or special. I really even when I arrived, the cottonwood was in the air. I'd never seen cottonwood before. There's all these things that just are so special around in this area, and I'm learning about it. And hopefully none of my friends in New York are listening, but I still watch my old friends from NBC on. We text during the show, so I still watch New York news and we'll text. And I have to tell you, the New York news sounds crazier and crazier every single day when you're not there.
I will say this, Steve, and Charlie is still nearby, and I know he does not want me to get any FCC violations, which, folks, I got to be honest, how I haven't since I've started doing this is a miracle of the Lord, because I often use colorful adjectives in my life. I will say this. You can pack up that doggone cottonwood, and you can put that all in your suitcases, and you can take that to New York. And I got a few places where that cottonwood can go. So as much as you enjoyed it, I'll just speak for many of us with allergies, that cottonwood can go to, and again, we're not going to get any violations here. We're going to be good. That is so funny that is what you said. Hey, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, let's dive into the season ahead. It's an exciting time at Midland Center for the Arts.
Hey, Michigan, let's think beyond the sink and learn where the water your family drinks every day comes from. Private wells and public water supplies allow homes across Michigan to draw water from different sources, like lakes, rivers, and groundwater. Tap into the facts about your home's water source and learn about your home's water quality to protect your family's health. Visit michigan.gov/care for MI drinking water. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
Hi, I'm Chris Hansen, here to tell you how you can get the lowest price in history on the real Viagra formula made by Pfizer. Right now, Score Blue is offering generic Viagra for only $5 a pill. That's just $5 a pill for the exact same formula that has sold billions of pills worldwide. But don't confuse these pills, which are made by Pfizer, with the cheap and often fake imitation pills sold online. Those pills never work. So go to Score Blue right now and take advantage of this unheard of low price on real Viagra made by Pfizer at the lowest price in history. Score Blue was just named the #1 rated service in America, and this unheard of price of only $5 is to celebrate that honor. Visit Score Blue today and get ready to score.
Visit scoreblue.com today. That's scoreblue.com. Scoreblue.com is the #1 online ED service in the world. Scoreblue.com.
Whether you're tinkering in your garage or tackling big projects, if you know the value of working with your hands, you know Harbor Freight. And you can be confident knowing that at Harbor Freight, you can get quality tools at prices that work just as hard as you do. Because the only thing more satisfying than a job well done is a job well done, well under budget. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Investors on Wall Street are anxious to see how NVIDIA does when it reports earnings tomorrow. Shares falling about 1% in early trading for the stock, which has become a key bellwether for tech stocks and AI shares more broadly. Home prices reach a new record high in June, according to Case-Shiller. The 20-city house price index rose 0.4% in June compared to the previous month. Year over year, home prices in the 20 major U.S. metro markets were up 6.5%. They grew the fastest in New York, followed by San Diego and Las Vegas. The slowest growth was found in Portland, Oregon, where prices grew less than 1%. They inched up 0.8% there. These latest numbers are a deceleration compared to an increase of 6.9% the previous month. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Lillian Wu, invested in you.
On August 30th, Reagan returns to office.
We are the greatest country in the world. We have just forgotten.
You can run from a bully for so long, but after a while, you're going to have to stand up to him. I am about to start the biggest war of this century.
You told me you wanted to make a difference in this world.
What would you have me do?
I want you to fight.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Reagan in theaters Friday, August 30th. Rated PG-13. May not be suitable for children under 13.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, a Pfizer vaccine.
Fly ball right field off the bat of McKinstry. That one's got a chance. Gone! Zach McKinstry with his 4th of the year.
The Tigers play 6:15 tonight on WSGW.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. The Art Lewis Show is sponsored by Westside Decorating Center. Visit them at 5789 State Street in Saginaw or online at westsidedecoratingcenter.com. So this is Matt Felan with the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance filling in for Art this week, and I'm joined by Steve Schonberg, Vice President of Marketing and Sales at Midland Center for the Arts. And you teased us before the break. You have some breaking news for us out of Midland Center for the Arts.
Yep.
Now is the time. Spill it, Steve.
Well, we thought to ourselves, who do we tell this to first? And I thought WSGW is perfect place, Matt's show. We're proud to announce that adding to our already incredible lineup for the season is the famed comedian Marlon Wayans. Hysterical. I mean, we love him from movies like White Chicks and Scary Movie 2. I mean, his most recent comedy special on Prime actually hit #1 in the first week. So it's going to be really incredible to welcome him to the center. And this is the first time we're announcing it. It's going to be on November 22nd.
So one night, Marlon Wayans, just hysterical, right? And one of the Wayan brothers. So I think, at least, like I'm going to age myself. I'm late 40s. Very late 40s. So kind of my time frame, my genre. How hard is it to bring in someone like Marlon into a show in Midland? It was, it's a big get for you guys and here for the region. How hard is it to get someone like him?
Well, I mean, I think just, given the quality of our programming and our vice president of programming, Brian, just really has done a fantastic job of attracting more and more shows and more talent who say, I want to make a stop in Midland. It's a fabulous venue and a great crowd. I think we've shown that to artists, and we're booking more and more higher level talent every single day. I mean, we've got Marlon Wayans, we've got Jane Lynch coming. We have
so let's
Straight
stop
Chaser.
there. We're stopping you right away because I'm looking at your list and I'm like, oh yeah, there is Jane Lynch, which it cracks me up the other day. I don't know if you've ever seen this. I was watching old school Harrison Ford in The Fugitive, and Jane Lynch shows up in there in this really small role where she's like a lab tech, and she's like, it's totally a serious character. She's kind of the, just a character actor in the show, but you're like, hey, wait a minute, what's crazy Jane Lynch doing in there, not insulting people on a game show?
Yeah.
So Jane Lynch, that's cool. Who's she coming in with? And for our listeners that may not know who Jane Lynch is, again, I'm a junkie, so I know who she is. Remind everyone exactly who Jane Lynch is and what that show's going to entail.
Oh, sure. I mean, she's been in a million TV shows. I think of her in movies like Best in Show. And also she hosts so many of the game shows that are on TV currently. The Celebrity Game Night is one of them. She's just one of those stars who seems to pop up everywhere. I don't think there's like multiples of her possibly, because there's Jane Lynch everywhere. I think my favorite role is, of course, she was the very evil cheerleading coach in Glee, the TV show.
Absolutely. That's, I think, where she really kind of got famous. She had we'll call it a unique role in The 40-Year-Old Virgin with Steve Carell, where she plays the boss. But, a character that she's phenomenal with, and not everyone may know.
Yeah.
She shows up as a comedian in The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
That's right.
And she has a really kind of fun role in that, where she's this kooky, crazy national celebrity comedian who, when she's off stage, is deadly serious and a little bit maniacal and crazy. And it's just a Jane Lynch character. So cool that she is coming.
Yeah.
What is, it's a Christmas show, correct?
Yeah.
So what does that show look like? A swinging little Christmas.
It's just a lot of fun. I actually had seen her do this show a few years ago in New York, and she's with Kate Flannery from The Office. And so they make, it's a twist on holiday. I mean, we all love holiday, but sometimes, A Christmas Carol, other things like that. We've all seen it before. They put a real fun twist on the holidays. It's songs, it's jokes, it's humor. And let me tell you, it's just the two of them are just laugh out loud, hysterically funny. So it's going to be a really fantastic time.
Okay, so let's dive in.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about this year's, full program, because it's hard to just capture it. I don't want to specify it in one, because you do bring different facets, right?
Yeah.
You're going to bring Broadway shows, you're going to bring comedy shows, you're going to bring your community theater, you have the symphony orchestra. You have a really phenomenal mix.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just call it your full calendar of events.
Yep.
Let's talk about, what does this year look like?
I think the most important thing to mention is what's called the Infinite, which I'll tease a little bit. Much more will be coming out soon, but we've got this incredible lineup. People can see it at midlandcenter.org, and I encourage everyone to sign up for our e-newsletter. We can get pre-sale codes and just get ahead of when things are going on sale, like the Marlon Wayans show. But you mentioned all of the things that we offer every year, right? We've got tons of different shows coming in. Wizard of Oz, Steel Magnolias in our Broadway season. We have Tina, the Tina Turner musical, Ain't Too Proud, the Temptations musical. It's really Dear Evan Hansen. I mean, it's going to be so fabulous. But I want to tell you about the Infinite, which, talk about using an opportunity. So as we have started our remodeling of the museum. It started in July, and we're making great progress towards hopefully reopening with the goal of in late 2026. So while we're doing that, we have to pull out a lot, which creates space. So talk about space. We're bringing in an immersive theater experience like no other, exclusive to us and here in Michigan, so you'll not see it anywhere else. And it is an immersive theatrical experience that brings you to the ISS space station through a mix of technology and immersive elements. And astronauts who have experienced it in other locations around the country, a few of them have actually gone in and actually had to stop because it was so real for them. They said it was like being back there. They needed to kind of check themselves. So that's going to be opening in January, and it's only going to be running for 4 weeks. So I really encourage everybody, again, to sign up for our e-newsletter, because as soon as those tickets go on sale, I do think it's going to sell out pretty quickly.
So let's start talking about a few of these shows because, I think it's important to kind of go through.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the Broadway series first because let's face it, I love Broadway as much as I do football, and that says a lot. I was in New York recently, as I think you know, and I had the chance to go watch the Lions. Happened to be there when I was there. So the Lions were over in the Meadowlands, but at the same time, I went and saw MJ the musical the following night, which was spectacular and so much fun. I can't even breathe. You're singing and dancing to Michael Jackson songs the entire time. Of the ones that you brought up, I think folks are familiar with Tina, the Tina Turner musical. But Dear Evan Hansen sticks out as one that hasn't been, I think, at Midland Center before, and I don't remember it being in this area.
Mm-hmm.
For our listeners, can you talk about what Dear Evan Hansen is and what to expect from that show?
I think it's a very important musical. Really resonated in Broadway. It's about a young man who gets himself caught up in some confusion based around a person's death, and tries to navigate his way through that confusion. He's ostracized from his community, and because of this person's death, and I don't want to give away the story, he gets pulled into a lot of community discussion about it, and is sort of positioned as a hero. And it's really the balance of him trying to give empathy to the family and to celebrate and to this person's life, but at the same time himself realizing popularity and realizing attention and realizing being a part of a community. Not that he's capitalizing on this person's death, but really as a young man getting lost in the truth a little bit and our personal emotions and how we feel. So I think it's a really important musical, especially for teenagers. I think they can really relate to it and the challenges in high school, and it's such a relatable character. I mean, Ben Platt did such a wonderful job on Broadway and in the film version of it as well. And also want to mention, by the way, Hadestown. When you mentioned Dear Evan Hansen, Hadestown, not a lot of people apparently know that name here locally, but it's a fantastic, soulful musical that's a sort of a twist on a Greek tragedy. And it's just a lot of fun, and it's just real earthy and got great dance numbers and super artistic. And I encourage people to definitely check it out.
Yeah. And, for folks that are Broadway buffs, these are, headline Broadway shows that have won many a Tony Award.
Mm-hmm.
They're highly regarded. They're incredibly thoughtful. They're very sophisticated shows.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing I love about Dear Evan Hansen is that, no offense to anyone else, but my teenagers are not going to watch Steel Magnolias, most likely, right? But a show like Dear Evan Hansen, like you said, it fits into that demographic, and it's something for maybe a different age group, a different popularity. And I give you guys credit, because I can't remember if it was last year or the year before, when you guys did the Book of Mormon at Midland Center for the Arts. That was so out of the ordinary for Midland Center for the Arts and for this region.
Yeah.
And I knew that the South Park guys had written it, but I had never seen it. And I went in, and you see the first number, and you're like, oh, this is just a lovely show about Mormons. This is great. And then you get to the second number, and you're like, whoa. Never mind. You got my attention. And I actually started to I stopped for a second from watching the show, and I was just watching the crowd reaction because it's so over the top.
Yeah.
But that's one thing that I love that Midland Center, I have noticed in the last several years.
Yeah.
You guys have really transitioned into some, let's call them edgier productions, some things that you may not normally see. So I can talk about this all day. We have to take another break. When we come back, we're going to keep really looking at this year's calendar at Midland Center for the Arts.
With a focus on memory care, Nottingham Place of Midland provides for the unique needs of persons with advanced memory loss, Alzheimer's, or dementia. Our intimate community is staffed 24 hours a day with compassionate caregivers that have specialized dementia training in an enriching, comforting environment. If you have a loved one that requires memory care, call Nottingham Place today and ask about our exciting move-in specials, or visit our website for complete information. Nottingham Place, 989-837-3190.
WSGW is your radio home for sports in the Great Lakes Bay region and beyond. With Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Throws it back. Here's Perek in the slot. Shoots good. Score on the rebound.
SVSU Cardinals football.
Inside the 10. Makes a cut. Touchdown Saginaw Valley.
The Detroit Red Wings.
Left circle Raymond in front. Score.
U of M Wolverines.
To the 10. To the 5. To the end zone.
And Detroit
Detroit Tigers baseball.
It's high, it's deep, and that ball is gone!
Tune in to live coverage of every game on 790 AM and 100.5 FM, and check WSGW.com to see when your teams take the field, ice, or court. WSGW Sports Broadcasting is presented in part by Valley Heating and Cooling, Wood Reviver in Saginaw, Euclid Avenue Coins, and Bicycle Village. All season, every season, your teams play on WSGW.
Your local Rite Aid might be closing, but don't worry. It's easy to transfer your prescriptions with GoodRx. First, check prices at GoodRx.com or on our app. Then show your coupon to the pharmacist. It's that simple. GoodRx can save you up to 80% on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, GoodRx is free, and it works whether you have insurance or not. Download the app or visit GoodRx.com today. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Every business faces challenges, but complicated, expensive, and uncertain shipping shouldn't be one of them.
With USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service, you can avoid all the noise.
No more unexpected surcharges, hidden fees, or complex rate structures.
It's just easy, cost-effective, and dependable shipping. Tune your business's frequency to success and turn shipping to your advantage. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
Wake up. Breakfast. And Nature Made vitamins. Whatever your morning sounds like, Nature Made fits right in. Whether you're looking for vitamin C or a multivitamin to get key nutrients, we've got you covered. Now that's a good morning. We take care of you so you can take on your day. Start your day with Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
When it comes to my lifestyle and diet, I don't always make the smartest choices.
Touchdown! Woo! Hey, how about another round and some more chips?
But when it comes to taking care of my liver, I do make one very smart choice. Active liver tablets from New Nordic. I used to have real issues with my liver, and at my last checkup, my doc was concerned about my numbers. But since adding a once-a-day active liver tablet, my gut's better, I feel great, and my doctor's happy. I ask a lot of my liver, so the least I can do to say thanks is a daily dose of Active Liver.
You ask a lot of your liver, so give it the support it needs with Active Liver. You can find Active Liver at Amazon.com or ask for Active Liver at your local CVS. Or for a volume discount, visit NewNordicUSA.com. Go to NordicUSA.com, Amazon, or ask for Active Liver at your local CVS.
It's the Stormmaster Exterior Studios of WSGW. And WSGW is online with Stormmaster Exteriors.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. It's Matt Felan with the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance. Joined with my new friend, Steve Schonberg, over at Midland Center for the Arts. He's been here in the region for the last 3 months as their Vice President of Marketing and Sales. And we're talking about the season ahead, the calendar ahead at Midland Center for the Arts, and want to highlight a few other unique things and just kind of ask you about. In October, on October 15th, you have the Ben Folds Paper Airplane Request Tour.
Yes.
And when I see Ben Folds, my brain immediately goes to Ben Folds 5.
Mhm.
Same Ben Folds. What is this show? This looks interesting.
Yeah, it's a by request tour. Ben's written music not just for Ben Folds 5 or his own solo work, but he's written for the stage, he's written for film, and I mean he's actually one of the most successful singer-songwriters of the last 3 decades. I mean, it really, to me, as a man in mid-40s, it takes me back to college. It takes me back to high school, just thinking about Ben Folds and the music that we've known for all these years. So it's really exciting to have somebody of his caliber, not just his stardom, but just how he's so beloved as a performer and singer-songwriter. I mean, anybody I've mentioned Ben Folds, they light up and they say, oh my goodness, he's coming when? So I encourage people to get tickets. It's selling very fast.
That's cool. So another one that just kind of sticks out. And again, I'm a fall guy. October 25th, right around Halloween.
Yes.
Haunted Objects Live. Why does that seem like I need to be a part of that? What is Haunted Objects Live?
Sure. You can be a part of it, but I will not be in the building that day. I'm too afraid. So these are two paranormal.
And just to be clear, folks.
Yeah.
Not that he's afraid of me, because I'll be in the building. He's just afraid of haunted objects, in case there's any confusion.
I'm afraid of both. No, I'm just kidding. Nope, it's pretty terrifying. And if people like scary, especially time for Halloween, this is not to be missed. They're two paranormal investigators who bring in haunted objects. Like you think of movies like The Conjuring, right? With like
I love The Conjuring. Yes, Annabelle's so scary, and the nun, and all the devil made me do it, and all these. Yes, I'm familiar. I love those movies.
So they bring in objects and talk about them. So these haunted objects are there in front of you, and then they actually have a way that they actually can create a haunted object with the audience. So it's really an audience participation kind of thing. Now, to me, that's too scary, but for people who like horror, I say go for it. It's going to be a great time. A lot of people on our team are quite excited about it.
I'm not going to lie. You have got my attention fully. I am going to be there. That is going to be awesome. That is one I need to take part in because, again, I am a Halloween junkie. I'm the guy. I'm not even lying, Steve. A couple years ago, I took my son, my daughter, and my nephew, and at the time, they may have been all of like 10 and 13. 9 p.m. Conjuring movie, and it was one of those things. Everyone's looking at me, and you can hear the tisks. Can you believe this guy's bringing them in? Yes, absolutely. We love the horror movies, so this around Halloween looks awesome.
Yep.
So I know the region. We talk about this, but we're becoming a more diverse region every single day. If this region's going to grow, it's not because everyone decides to have 10 kids again. It's because we're going to bring talent in from across the world. New Americans coming to our area. Companies like Dow, which is a global power, gives us great diversity. And I know you guys are really focused on having a diverse lineup of acts and showing different cultures. And you have one coming in April. So we're a little bit out, but it's something I'm sure we'll talk about again, called Step Africa.
Yeah.
This really kind of sticks out in your season. What is Step Africa?
Yeah. And well, I want to take a step back quickly and say, part of art is challenging people to see different perspectives and try something new. It opens our minds up. And when you think of people of all different perspectives get together into a performance, when the applause happens, that's a moment of meeting minds. And you might have been exposed to something you've never seen before. And diversity is not just about our programming. Diversity is really key to our values. It's on our website. It's really what we want to promote in the region. And Step Africa is one example that's really great. It blends traditional dance styles from African American as well as South African dance styles, and blends it together into this big, high energy dance show that really comes at you at like 150 miles an hour. And you're exposed to these different forms of dance that they blend together with contemporary music and fun. And it's just going to be a blast of an evening. And it's one of several shows that we do have coming up. Even in October for National Diversity Month, we have Alex Cuba, who is a wonderful performer and does a really cool blend of Afro jazz and funk and soul, and singer-songwriter, and just is a real fun, feel-good kind of performer.
I love this, and I know the art community, although you're competitors, you're also one big family. I don't know if you saw recently, Buddy Guy was in town. He was over at the Temple Theater, and I keep loving seeing these artists come in.
Yeah.
So we're going to take one more break, folks. When we're back, we're going to talk about how you can get tickets to all these great events.
This segment of Our Community's Care is brought to you by the Saginaw Community Foundation. For August, the Saginaw Community Foundation proudly spotlights Heart of the City Development Center. Imagine a community where everyone belongs, where every individual is valued, and where opportunity knows no bounds. Heart of the City Development Center is here to make that vision a reality. Our Adult Day Support Center is more than just a place, it's a beacon of hope and progress. With a focus on learning, growth, and engagement, we're creating an inclusive space where adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities can thrive. But more importantly, we're supporting families, enabling caregivers to return to work, and contributing to a stronger, more inclusive society. Heart of the City Development Center is open Monday through Friday. To learn more or schedule a visit, call us at 989-778-7899 or visit www.heartofthecity989.com. Heart of the City Development Center, where hope opportunity, and community meet.
A new report from Square examines the state of the restaurant industry, including dining trends, shifts in consumer spending, and restaurant wages. Ming Tai Ha, head of restaurants at Square, shares more.
Our latest quarterly restaurant report shows that while service fees on customers' bills are still relatively uncommon, their prevalence is growing. Different than surcharges, service fees, which are used to offset operational and overhead costs, have doubled since the beginning of 2022. Another point Square uncovered is that workers' wages are above the rate of inflation.
The report also highlights significant trends in nightlife across the U.S., with some cities seeing growth similar to pre-pandemic levels.
New York and Miami lead in nightlife, with Boston experiencing the most explosive growth, followed by Richmond and Philadelphia. Despite positive overall trends, downtown restaurant traffic in some cities, like New York and San Francisco, remain below pre-pandemic levels.
For the full report, visit square.com.
Joey, let's get some drive-through.
Yeah, bro. Food.
I'm going to have to ask you to step out of the car, sir.
Joey, let's get some drive-through, man.
Let's order delivery instead.
If you feel different, you drive different, and driving high is a DUI. If you think no one can tell you're high, think again. Your friends, family, and especially law enforcement can see right through it. If you feel different, you drive different. Drive high and get a DUI. Brought to you by NHTSA.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career and they talked to me about it.
He was done in just months.
I did do it online.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at My Computer Career.
It worked for me and I know it can work for you.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, a Pfizer vaccine.
WSGW is your station for The Ramsey Show. Financial focus and life planning with Dave Ramsey and his team of experts. Weeknights from 9 to 1 a.m. on WSGW and online WSGW.com.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. It's Matt Felan at the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance filling in for Art. And this hour, I've been joined by Steve Schonberg, VP of Marketing and Sales over at Midland Center for the Arts, and talking about really what is one of the most robust calendars I've ever seen at the center. So for our listeners, how can they go to these shows? And I know you have to have a variety of ways. I'm sure there's a season, maybe a Broadway season, a full season, pick certain events. What are the different options that are out there now for folks if they want to go see shows?
Sure. Well, you can still purchase a word I can't say today. Subscription. I need some more coffee today, Matt. A subscription to any one of our series, like you mentioned. But we also started our single tickets, went on sale beginning August 12th. So you can have you pick and choose. And if you do a subscription, you can do add-ons to them too. So say you pick a Broadway series, but you want to go to a couple of different shows, you get more added value from that because you added on to the package. And what you do is go to midlandcenter.org to purchase, or just stop on by, and anybody in our guest services team at the box office will be happy to help pick out the best seats possible so that patrons can have an amazing time at our center.
So I'll tell you, as a customer, I'm always amazed, and I'll just give you an example for our listeners. So sometimes there's shows that just, they work for you, and sometimes there's shows that don't. And so I'm not going to get too specific on the radio, but there's certain shows and I'm like, I'm good. And there's certain shows and I'm like, okay, I have to go see this. Like this haunted objects thing, you've totally got me engaged here. Like when I'm done today, that's like one of my priorities. I need to go and arrange my group of friends and we're going to go and I want to scare everyone. That's going to be awesome, right? But I will tell you, just as a customer, I think your staff and your team does a great job, because when I call and to say, hey, here are the shows I want to go to, like, okay, great, let's walk through them and here's what we're going to do and let's pick these and here are the seats here and here's what we can do. And so I tell you, you guys do a really good job tailoring these for, each individual customer, because we all have different tastes.
Sure.
And there's all different things we want to do. So I will tell you, I think you guys do a really good job from your ticket sales office, that whatever you guys want to do, folks, if you're listening and you want to be a part of a show at Midland Center for the Arts, give them a call. They'll work with you. They're going to work with you on tickets, ticket pricing, the whole bit.
Yeah.
Although I will ask this. You sold yourself out recently off the air and you said you live near Costco.
I do.
So we're in the generation of Costco and Sam Club shopping. Is there like a Costco kind of piece to this? Like if you get a certain number of shows that you get a savings, and, times are tough with inflation. People, they pick and choose where their dollars are going to go. Are there any ways that they can really stretch their dollar when they're looking for shows at Midland Center for the Arts?
Sure. Well, definitely a subscription. That word.
See that word? I'm going to help you out. If
funny?
You're getting a subscription at Midland Center for the Arts.
We were just joking before we got on air about words we can't say today. It's subscription. You definitely find your best savings that way. But I also want to mention, we're very conscious of the fact of our community and, our prices compared to, say, Broadway. We try to keep it reasonable, and tickets generally start at $40 in our auditorium. So, really try to make it accessible to people for most of our, if not all of our performances. We want everyone to be able to come to enjoy performances at the Midland Center.
I'm glad you said that, because someone that was just at Broadway, we got decent seats at MJ the Musical. But it is $200 a pop, folks. Yeah. You take a family of 4, you're $800 in a hurry. And we're not talking about traveling and dinner and everything else. It's an expensive venture. So to be able to go to Midland Center for the Arts and start at $40, and oftentimes great seats in the 70s, 80s, 90s, right? That are, again, these are Broadway level productions that are coming into the Great Lakes Bay region.
Yeah.
It's an affordable way to do this.
Yeah.
Last thing before I let you go, remind everyone, what's the website if they want to get tickets and the phone number?
midlandcenter.org.
Great seeing you again. Look forward to seeing you again on a future show.
You too, Matt. Thanks for having me.
Incoming transmission from RocketGrabPlus.com.
Right now at RocketGrabPlus.com, you can get a seat on our Moose Pub Crawl in Midland, Thursday, September 19th. It's only $10. We are going to have 2 different limo buses taking us to 5 bars: Frick's Sports Bar, 3 Bridges Distillery and Tap Room, Molasses Smokehouse and Bar, Tavern on Main, and 702 Bar and Grill. There are a limited number of seats, so make sure you snag yours right now. It's available at RocketGrabPlus.com.
Transmission terminated.
Whether you're tinkering in your garage or tackling big projects, if you know the value of working with your hands, you know Harbor Freight. And you can be confident knowing that at Harbor Freight, you can get quality tools at prices that work just as hard as you do. Because the only thing more satisfying than a job well done is a job well done, well under budget. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real, and I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. Optima Tax Relief. Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
That wraps up this edition of the Art Lewis Show. Up next is Focus with Marisa Belotti, but first the news.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCormick. There's been another hostage rescue in Gaza. The Israeli military says it recovered Kayed Farhan al-Qadi in a first-of-its-kind rescue from a tunnel. Linda Gradstein has more.
Whoever was guarding him was not there for a few moments, and Israeli special forces came in and got him. The representatives of the hostage family say that it's a miracle, but that the only way to release all of the hostages is by a ceasefire deal.
Those ceasefire talks on Gaza are continuing. This just in, Delta Airlines is confirming 2 workers have been killed and another was injured in an explosion at a maintenance facility near Hartsfield-Jackson Airport in Atlanta. Millions of Americans are under heat warnings and advisories again today, especially in the Midwest, where high humidity is also a concern for residents and first responders. Sean Solberger is fire chief in Peoria, Illinois.
In these type of extreme weather, we have to trust ourselves, to ask for help.
And here's CBS meteorologist John Elliott.
Heat advisories and warnings for, Chicago down into the Ohio Valley. Today, it's going to feel like 109 in Chicago. That's too hot for school. And then just a heads up for tomorrow. Tomorrow in D.C. could see a real feel number of 107. And just west of New York, parts of New Jersey, real feel numbers maybe 105.
The largest Latin American civil rights organization is calling for an investigation of the Texas Attorney General. It claims Ken Paxton's office authorized illegal searches of the homes of its volunteers. He claims he's investigating alleged election fraud and efforts to register non-citizens to vote. Here's correspondent Omar Villafranca.
The leaders of LULAC, the League of United Latin American Citizens, blasted the Attorney General and said they did nothing illegal. And LULAC leaders are telling me that they feel that Paxton's goal isn't election integrity, it's voter suppression.
Cities nationwide have stepped up spraying for West Nile virus. In New York, more than a half a dozen people have come down with the virus. Reporter Christina Fan.
Doctors say the majority of people who are infected usually show no symptoms, but in some cases, patients can develop mild to moderate illness, such as fever and body aches. And in rare cases, severe illness can affect the brain.
Consumer Reports out with a list of most reliable used cars, like the 2017 Chevy Cruze and 2020 Buick Envision, the magazine's Alec Nizek.
Brands like Toyota, Lexus, Mazda, they tend to be more conservative when they redesign their cars. So instead of throwing it all away and starting over, they tend to iterate on their products, which lends itself to good reliability.
See, this is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
While you're comfortable inside your home or business, the weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you have an aging roof, don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a RoofMax shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money, guaranteed with RoofMax, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben today at 859-6751.
Incoming transmission from RocketGrabPlus.com.
Right now at RocketGrabPlus.com, you can get a seat on our Moose Pub Crawl in Midland, Thursday, September 19th. It's only $10. We are going to have 2 different limo buses taking us to 5 bars. Frick's Sports Bar, 3 Bridges Distillery and Tap Room, Molasses Smokehouse and Bar, Tavern on Main, and 702 Bar and Grill. There are a limited number of seats, so make sure you snag yours right now. It's available at RocketGrabPlus.com.
Transmission terminated.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Whether you own a local business or a global one,
You know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Mostly sunny skies and 82 degrees at 11:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Percha. A Davison man was arrested in Genesee County recently on charges related to bottle deposit fraud. According to the Michigan Attorney General's office, 34-year-old Namir Shango was creating fake bottle return invoices at his business, Valley Liquor Store in Mount Morris, made to look as though they were generated by his in-store bottle return processing machine. Shango allegedly presented the invoices to his soft drink distributor to receive fraudulent credits toward incoming deliveries. He was charged in 67th District Court on a single count of false pretenses between $50,000 and $100,000, which is a 15-year felony. His next court date is this Thursday. A trustee of the Village of St. Charles is suing the community over free speech rights in regards to political signs. Recently, Police Chief Jason Oliver posted a notice on Facebook detailing how placing political signs in certain areas violates ordinance from the local to the state level. He explained that by Monday he would be removing political signs regardless of affiliation from personal property due to time constraints. Trustee Troy Freed has filed a lawsuit against the village, its president, manager, and police chief, claiming the practice violates the First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. A court date for the lawsuit is pending. Following a cyber attack that disrupted operations at McLaren Healthcare, the hospital system says its network is once again fully operational. According to McLaren officials, the attack occurred early in August, with McLaren implementing downtime procedures at several facilities, which required some non-emergent appointments, tests, and treatments to be rescheduled. The hospital system is still working to determine how much data and patient information was compromised in the attack. With the restoration of its network, providers at all McLaren hospitals and outpatient centers will again be able to access patient electronic medical records. All records kept manually during the disruption will take several weeks to fully integrate into the network, according to hospital officials. WSGW News Time, 11:07.
This is Sonia with Phages Interiors, and I'm here to invite you to check out our recently renovated window treatment gallery. Along with custom draperies and top treatments, we now offer a range of America's most popular brands of blinds and shades like Hunter Douglas. We have an array of smart home compatible, energy efficient designs that are available at everyday low pricing. We can even cover those odd shaped windows with style. For over 24 years, I've helped my clients create custom one-of-a-kind window treatments, and now I'm able to offer complete room design with Phages Interiors. Visit our website to schedule your complimentary consultation and enjoy 50% off professional installation. Or visit our ever-changing showroom at Phages Interiors, 4946 Burl Drive in Saginaw.
Phages Interiors. Stop in and experience for yourself the quality, value, and excellent service that can only come from Phages Interiors.
WSGW News Time, 11:08. The weather forecast is coming up next. 24 animals from St. Clair County are found without food, water, or proper living conditions. That's according to police, who say the initial investigation also shows several dogs with injuries who were locked in crates inside a barn on a property that was 109 degrees inside at the time. A total of 24 animals, including dogs, donkeys, goats, cats, turkey, and chickens, were all rescued by animal control from the Birchville home. The investigation into the incident is ongoing. Michigan still has a teacher shortage, but it is making progress. That's according to Michigan News Network's Ryan Recker.
The State Board of Education reports the number of certified teachers saw increases across early childhood education, math, English, and literacy-related endorsements. Jack Elzy, founder and CEO of the Michigan Educator Workforce Initiative, says it's more than just training new teachers.
We are seeing some innovations. We're seeing some helpful programs to chip away at that shortage.
I think we also know, though, that part of the equation is not just finding more people to come into the profession, but keeping the great teachers we have now in classrooms.
Elsie says we have to go beyond bringing teachers out of retirement, and it's an important time for the public and private partnerships to reinvent the profession. Ryan Recker for the Michigan News Network.
The Holland Sentinel is reporting Ottawa County will have to pay more than $188,000 in legal fees to Adeline Hambley's attorneys. Hambley, the county board, had tried to oust Hambley, and she filed a lawsuit against the county, which she later dropped when she was able to keep her job. Muskegon County 14th Circuit Court Judge Jenny McNeil ruled attorney fees were appropriate under the whistleblower statute and based on the defendant's conduct in the proceedings. WSGW News Time 11:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. A heat advisory is in effect here for the forecast area. We'll see a few scattered showers and thunderstorms at times here for today with a blend of clouds and sunshine developing, a high in the low 90s. Winds out of the southwest around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight a chance for some showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy skies and a low around 70. Wednesday, chance for showers and thunderstorms. Partial sunshine develops, high of 78 degrees. Thursday, mostly sunny and a high of 82. Friday, a chance for showers and thunderstorms here. Cloudy sky conditions, a high of 85 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Currently, it's 77.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com. Focus is presented by RoofMax. That's RoofMax with 2 X's.
Good morning and welcome to the Focus program. It's Matt Felan at the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance, filling in for Art for 4 of our 5 days here this week. I'll be with you guys again on Thursday and Friday. And I'm joined this morning by one of our great local family-owned businesses, their president and CEO, Marisa Belotti at FP Horak. Good morning, Marisa.
Good morning.
So I think what a lot of people, when they hear FP Horak, they still remember your facility in downtown Bay City. When you came off of Vets Bridge, you're right there. Santa's on the rooftop. It was, an iconic building that everyone knew. And then you moved and you built a monstrosity out at Mackinac and US 10. Again, very visible. And now today, that's SK Siltron you sold, and you are over in Buena Vista. I think what people would love to hear first, Marisa, tell us about FP Horak today and kind of why you've made these moves and really what does the company do today? Because a lot has changed in the printing industry as everything's become digital over the course of the past few decades.
Yeah. So thank you so much for having me. I'm stoked to be here. So the printing industry obviously has evolved, and COVID did a major change within the printing industry. So I would say that FP Horak, when we moved from the facility out on Mackinac and the clouds parted and we had a plan and we pivoted our business, we really transformed into where we looked 5, 10 years, 15 years down the road. What is the world going to look like for the printing industry, marketing industry? Really, where are we seeing the growth and where are we seeing some of the exciting from our customers evolving around their ever-changing needs? We had to evolve around their needs. So right now, FP Horak today is 78 years strong. We are over off of 46 next to Duralast, kitty corner from next year. We are a full service printing and marketing firm still, and we focus in on e-commerce technology and corporate gifting. We do a lot of corporate gifting, and we leverage our storefront technology to be able to help people manage their supply chain of their print, marketing, promotional products, trade show materials. And so FP Horak, as it sits today, is still very much the same size. We just have developed strategic partnerships with organizations that do things that we do not do anymore. And then we currently have a full service warehouse digital printing organization in wide format in-house.
So, Marisa, first of all, talk to me. What is e-commerce technology? For our listeners who are like, what is that? Talk about what is e-commerce technology?
So imagine an Amazon branded to your organization, say a bank like Horizon Bank needs multiple locations and multiple people accessing a storefront that work for them, that they would be able to order their business cards, letterheads, schedule their trade show materials, order their promotional products, and say thank you. Their sales team could say thank you to a client that they just met with through going in and populating a special note, dropping a business development campaign. We integrate in with people's single sign-on and their intranets. And so it allows organizations to decentralize their ordering practices by having people all over the world placing orders for their printed and marketing collateral, and centralizing the accounting practices through one summary bill by cost center. So it's a unique technology. We've been in the business since the 80s. We were early adopters, and we've really evolved and transformed that technology around our customers' needs.
So I have to ask, as you think about traditional printing, right? And everything used to be giant stacks of paper. And now you run into a lot of organizations where maybe it's an iPad type device, or so much has become electronic. Then you get hit by COVID. You see things now like folks have to deal with ransomware attacks and various things that go on. And when that happens, they go right back to paper.
Mm-hmm.
So the industry keeps evolving. Do you think it's settled now to where it's going to be long-term in terms of what the printing needs are? Do you actually view that maybe some of the prints needed again and people are moving back to print a little bit? Kind of how does the industry look today?
I think so. One of the big parts of our business as well is educational publishing. So we do a ton of educational publishing. And one of the things that we found is that during COVID really transformed and changed, where people went much more virtual. The children were not learning as well. So we've brought in a lot more digital tools, digital printed tools. When I say digital tools, I mean digitally printed tools. So you're not printing offset where you're printing thousands and thousands and thousands of books. You're printing more specialized, customized books in shorter run that's more relevant to a student. So you see that in the education market, but then you also see that in the printing arena within businesses, right? Operational documents are not always needed, but there are things that are add-ons that people need to operate their business to be more efficient, more effective, more on point, more quality control. So there's still measures in operational documents that are needed. They've just evolved. And that's where the digital printing really comes in well, because we've really evolved towards how can we help you reduce your obsolescence? How can we help you not print thousands and thousands? We're going to print shorter run. We're going to keep it more on point and your inventory levels low so that you don't have those obsolescence. And that's where the storefront and understanding the data really comes in.
So we're going to take a break, but when we come back, I want our listeners to hear all about your corporate gifting program.
Proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Everyone on the road is trying to make it to their destination safely. You can help by staying aware of the large trucks and buses around you. They take longer to stop, have large blind spots, and make wide turns that require caution from other drivers. It takes all of us working together to share the road safely. Learn more at www.sharetheroadsafely.gov. Paid for by FMCSA.
Welcome to Staples. My son's teacher emailed his back-to-school list. He needs crayons and comp books. With Staples Hot Deals, you'll find super low prices on hundreds of items for school. Oh, now they're saying he needs folders and glue. You got it. And markers, of course. Oh, geez. Can we get a card, please?
Save big on back to school with Staples Hot Deals. Right now, 24-pack Crayola crayons and comp books are only 45 cents each at Staples. Ends 9/14, in-store only, limit 10. Prices valid in select stores. Visit staples.com/stores/school deals.
Michigan football is back on WSGW.
Your team is the #1 team in America. It is intercepted. Mikey St. Bristol going the other way. 20, 25, 30. Mikey St. Bristol to the 40, to the 50. Mikey St. Bristol down the field. Inside the 20. Gets back inside at the 10. And he's dragged down at the Washington 6-yard.
The defending national champions have a new coach, but the same Michigan tradition.
JJ under center. Handoff play. Curl up the middle. Touchdown. Wolverines find the left side of the offensive line. And Michigan extends the lead to 33-13. Michigan completes a 15-0 national championship season.
The season kicks off Saturday, August 31st, when the Wolverines host the Fresno State Bulldogs at the Big House. Game day coverage, 6:30 p.m. on 100.5 FM.
Good morning and welcome back to the Focus program. It's Matt Felan here with Marisa Belotti from FP Horak. And before the break, Marisa, you were talking about one of your business lines, which is a corporate gifting program. Explain what that is. I'm curious.
So in many different aspects, it can be a lot to everybody, right? So we have a company that is focused on business to consumer gifting, which you can be anybody and buy that gift, and that's giftvia.co. And then we also have an entire division of our organization that focuses in on identifying ways of getting your brand forward, our customers' brand forward. So how do you leave that lasting mark? How do you thank your customers or your internal employees or your external employees, your suppliers? How do you say thank you throughout the year? So as people are coming up with human resources welcome gifts, as they're coming up with ideas, and they always used to think of, let's just buy swag. Now there's so many unique ways of potentially buying some swag, but adding in some more personalized assets. So FP Horak really focused in on specializing in creating personalized approach to those assets. So if you were to receive a charcuterie board with the Felan name on it, and it had a gift card to a local Artisanos where they could fill that board for you, it's more of a personalized touch. It could still have that branded Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance name to it that wouldn't be branded on the actual asset. So we're seeing a major growth in that, and we do that for large Fortune 500 companies all the way on down. And then you take it on the flip side where you're hiring new employees and you want to give them a welcome kit. Or maybe it's you're acquiring a business and you want to welcome them to your brand. There's ways of doing that where it's, where you're doing it, where you're sending them a online portal that they can choose their gift, which makes it a lot more unique as well. Send it direct to homes. We do a lot of awards for large organizations. So it's really, we've just customized the approach because I thought long and hard, I don't like receiving things that are always on somebody's, with somebody's brand attached to it. I don't mind having some of the assets, but how can you make it personalized to me? And so we've really tried to customize the way that we look at corporate gifting.
It's so unique. So, and I know Charlie Rood, he's going to want a Felan charcuterie board. There's not a doubt in my mind that that's going to be on his holiday list this year. What are examples of some of the items that are part of corporate gifting?
So we've partnered with some organizations locally, Coffee Creations, Zach and Max, and we've partnered with a lot of, so we've pieced together these really, really, really cool kits that have customized drinkware. They have branded assets in them with like you think drinkware, you think charcuterie boards, you think coffee cups and mugs. We've got these really cool cake plates. We've got some crazy stuff, and you can check it all out at giftvia.co. We also have it on our website. We do a lot of unique trade show gifts as well. So like if we'll help an organization that's trying to do some pre-show, drink show, and post-show marketing, bringing people into the booth, we'll do some, if you sign up, you can get a personalized cork skull or you can get a personalized Yeti. And it still has their brand on it, but it has that little extra swing to it.
So let's just run a hypothetical, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I know someone from Michigan Sugar is listening right now. and let's say Michigan Sugar is heading to a big convention somewhere, and they're going to be meeting with consumers that use their sugar product to bake or make candy or whatever it is, and they want to have some cool swag to give out at this big trade show, they can work with FP Horak and get something unique, designed, branded with them, something they can hand out that's memorable, that's unique. And you can do this for companies, large or small, all across, let's not even say region, all across the country, but those of us that are listening here, they go to FP Horak and you can help them with this, correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And how fast is this growing inside your company? What kind of demand are you seeing?
Rapid growth. Because we have all these different assets that we're carrying in inventory, we're not forcing people to pre-purchase any of these assets and keep them on the floor. We're keeping that inventory level and we're etching on demand. That is a very unique competitive offering. A lot of our customers still have a lot of assets that they have to buy in hundreds and thousands or whatever, and they take them to trade shows, but they might not be relevant to that next trade show. So it's about having the nimbleness to be able to do different things for different audiences and making that approach much better. So in the sugar land, like you could come up with something where maybe you send them a direct mail piece with the person's name, variably imaged with someone writing it in sugar. And then you come to our booth and you schedule an appointment with us and you get an opportunity to be able to get a customized cake dome bag and we'll fill it with your favorite sweets. I'm just throwing that out there because you kind of put me on spot with Michigan Sugar, but lots of different ways of creating an experience for customers. And we really focus on ideation first and then find a way of what would I want to receive? And then how does that create that personal touch?
So I can't wait. There's going to be WSGW tumblers with etched faces of Art Lewis, Charlie Rood, Terry Henney, and Jonathan Dent that are going to be the holiday item of the year.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's going to want one.
Everyone is going to want that 4-pack.
They're lining up.
Tumblers. I can see it. No, but that's the creativity that you can have.
Yeah.
So we have to end here shortly. For anyone, whether it's a company that has a printing need, you need business cards, you need stationery, you have brochures you need to print, you need to work on this e-commerce side, you're curious about corporate gifting, how do they find you and folks on their team? What do they do? Where do they go?
So fphorak.com. I'm right on that site. You can reach out to me directly. Anybody in the region probably knows how to reach me, but you can reach out to us via fphorak.com, and giftvia.co is our new business to consumer site. So if you're looking for a cool gift to send your college student to make them feel warm and fuzzy about opening day, or you're looking for an idea just to send gifts to whomever outside of the state, check us out. We got some really cool ideas on there.
As always, your energy and enthusiasm is brimming. The world needs more Marisa Belotti. Thank you for joining me today. Great seeing you as always.
All right. Have a great day.
Is your foundation showing signs of wear? Wendling Land Management is here to help. Our expert team specializes in foundation drainage repair to protect your home from water damage and ensure a solid, stable base. Don't wait for small issues to become big problems. Contact Wendling Land Management today to see why we're the trusted name in foundation care. Call 989-280-0367. That's 989-280-0367. Or visit wendlinglandmanagement.com. Keep your foundation strong with Wendling.
I'm a Skyrider, and the Michigan Lottery hired me to tell everyone about their huge $50 instant game. $300 million extraordinaire. It has over $300 million in total prizes. Top instant prizes of $6 million. And 20-second chance prizes of $100,000. But the game's so big, I ran out of Sky. So fly to your favorite store for new $300 million extraordinaire. Only from the Michigan Lottery.
Knowing your limits is always the best.